Good morning. About to drop some knowledge and some JaeRae Jewels here on a Saturday morning. The week after the eclipse, and a whole week has gone by, and I'm sure a lot of people have experienced a lot about themselves, and a lot of people have experienced things about not only themselves but others, and also how they contribute to maybe other people's reactions, or maybe how they contribute to other people's ways of doing things, how they're the common denominator in a lot of things. And I think we've all have come that far, I would think, right? We've all come that far that we've recognized our patterns, or we recognize ourselves as the common denominator in every situation. And that's how we're going to handle everything from now on. But I get a lot of times from clients their fear taking a risk. And they're always they're like, oh, that's a big risk, Jay. That's a big risk. Moving to another state and ending my job and not having security, or not having money, and not having a plan. That's a big risk, Jay. It's a very big risk. And that's too much for me. It's a lot. And I've realized over the years of just doing what I do and being who I am, there is no risk without a reward. Every risk I've ever taken in my life, and I've taken some big fucking risks, I've taken risks that people shake their head to this day and go, what the fuck was she thinking? Every risk has a reward. So if you are right now in a position in your life where you feel like that risk is just a little too much, maybe it's a little too over the top, maybe just a little beyond something that you can do, I have to tell you, there's a reward behind it. See, God is going to give you favor by just having the leap of faith. By just taking the leap of faith, God's going to grant you favor. He's going to grant you grace right then and there by just believing and just having faith and just believing in the fact that you can, that you have the faith to do it. You're going to take that risk and that gamble. You're going to take it. God's going to grant you grace. Just in that moment alone, he's going to grant you grace. And then from grace, he's going to grant you reward. And from reward, you're all of a sudden going to taste of what honesty, truth, authenticity tastes like. And what life really starts to look like. Things start to become happy. Things start to look good. Things start to feel good. Things start to taste good. All of a sudden, you're realizing you've been sitting on it like a duck this whole entire time because of somebody else's fear. See, people don't do this on purpose. They don't mean to do it, but they don't want to see you happy. Not especially if they're not happy. They don't. And it's not because, I don't think they do it consciously. They do it subconsciously. But if people see you taking a big risk, knowing, because they know there's a reward for the risk. They know that if you take that risk, the reward is probably going to be bigger than they can handle. And their fear of losing you is too great. So they will put fear back into you. What are you, crazy? You shouldn't do that. That's insane. You're thinking outside the box. You don't have the money for that. That sounds nuts. You're out of your mind. Why would you do such a thing? Okay. You got to learn how to do it. Okay. But do it anyway. Do it anyway. Now, I'm not saying, guys, please don't take this all the way to the left. I'm not saying to debt everything you have around you and forget people that love you and you love them and that depend on you and need you and love you. I'm not saying to do that. What I'm saying is that if there's a part of your life right now where you feel stuck, look around and decide and feel and know why you're stuck. Are you stuck because of you? Or are you stuck because of someone else's fear of you not progressing? Take a look around. I promise you, you're going to pick up on those people real quick. And it doesn't mean to get rid of those people. It just means get rid of that fear. Do it anyway. And if they're not there after everything is said and done, then that's on them. That's not on you. And that's the risk you're going to take when you decide to make decisions that best suit you. The risk is you're going to lose people. You're going to lose friendships, babe. You're going to lose all sorts of people, places, and things. You're going to lose them. I hate to tell you that, but you are. You're going to lose so many parts of you, so many things around you that you thought you were never going to not be without. I never thought I would never not talk to that person. I never thought I would ever not be with that person. I thought I would always be at that job. I thought I would always... You know what thought did? God thought he farted, but he shitted his pants. Don't always think. You have to do your very best during this season. And this is a season right now. God has us all in a season. He has us in a financial and an emotional and a spiritual reset. God has us in an amazing season right now. Take advantage of this season. Take advantage of this time. Take advantage of everything that's going on right now, because this is the epic center of change. We are in the epic center of actually recreating and redefining our economic structure within our own home, our foundation within how we love and how we want to be loved. We are recreating it as we speak. Everything is being transmuted. Trust. Hand it over. Whatever it may be, hand it over. The relationship, the weight, the anger, the fear. Hand it over. Hand it over. I promise you, once it gets handed over, it transmutes and goes into the most beautiful sun, the biggest glow, gets fired up, recreated, and then sent back to you perfectly. You have to have an everyday mindset to wake up in the morning and say, I believe, and I'm going to take that risk. I'm going to take that gamble because I have a reward waiting on the other side of that. And you know what the reward sometimes is? It's not so much materialistic. That's the part where we're growing as people. It's not the materialistic stuff. It's the peace. It's the sense of peace. That becomes the commodity that's priceless. It's the peace that we have within ourselves. It's the fact that the sky could fall and we're still okay. It's the fact that bombs can go off all around you and you're at peace. It can matter that somebody decides never want to talk to you again and you're good with it. The fact that maybe you're down to $1 in your bank account, you'll get more money. The fear just dissipates. It just dissipates. You have zero fear of money. You have zero fear of outcomes. You have zero fear of anything. You don't control a damn thing. You literally wake up every day and you give it to God. And you say, okay, today's the day. All right, so today I'm going to make a plan and God's going to laugh. And either I'm going to get one thing done on the list or maybe two or maybe none at all. And that's okay. That's okay. I've been procrastinating writing the rest of my book for years now. And the last 2 or 3 days, God has sent me every person in the universe to help me write the book because this is what he wants. This is what he wants. And I have to respect it. So I have to take the risk, which is exposing myself in a way that I never did before with words so that people can read my story, right? I have to expose myself. I have to take a risk in that. That's still vulnerability. I have to take a risk in that. But the reward is probably bigger than I can possibly imagine. It has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with whether I have a book sale, if I get a published book, or I don't do this, or I don't. It's nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that you guys are going to read it. And the reward's going to be that you're going to learn something from it. And after you learn something from it, you're going to realize, oh my God, I've helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of men, people. My books are going to be in institutions. My books are going to be in colleges. My books are going to be in theories. My books are going to be taught by professors. My books are going to be taught in ways and in a metaphysical world that's never been taught before. That's where my books are going to be. And then all of a sudden you say, why am I not doing it if the reward's that big? What's my fear? And I realized that my fear is being successful. Sounds crazy because I feel I already am successful. But I'm fearful of the next level of success because what comes with the next level of success is vulnerability, scrutiny, and also, too, the fear of losing my identity within my own home, in my own structure, in my own life. Kind of like the bubble I live in. Okay? But even that is bullshit. Even that's an illusion. That's just my little ego. That's just the little girl in me going, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm not ready to tell my story. Wait. So I'm just going to go ahead and today I'm going to write my book. And it's going to be written like a snap of a finger because I removed the block. I took it out of the way. I recognized what it was and I removed it. So I am going to take the biggest risk of my life today. And I am going to get the biggest reward. And the reward is not going to be monetarily. The reward is going to be esoterically. It's going to be by which stands the universe and how I'm able to implement into the universe. That's what I'm going to do today. So, I am going to share with you right now the excerpts of my book to you. And I'm going to give you the foreword, and I'm going to read it to you guys right now. And the foreword to my book is dedicated to my grandmother. So, if everyone's ready, this is where it's going to begin, and this is going to be a chapter. My grandmother. Grandmothers are the extension of what mothers can't be, or at least that's what my grandmother was for me. She was beautiful and smelled good and dressed like no other. She smoked long white cigarettes and always had something to say. She hugged tightly and meant it. She loved the hug more than you did. It was love in the form of little arms adorned with gold bracelets that made the most beautiful sound and gold rings on every finger. She was magical. Every time she came around, the world seemed brighter and lighter, and the energy, wow, the energy, it just shifted. I was protected and loved. What a feeling. I trusted her. Before I knew what trust was, she was it. I can count on her weekly phone calls and brown paper packages wrapped beautifully from Key West that was mailed out that smelled just like her, with underwears and clothes and sometimes jewelry and barrettes for my hair. How did she know that my little heart needed her? Then it became clear to me she didn't know, but God knew, and that's where the story began. See, before me, my mom had a child. She was young and scared, and she was only 16 when she had my brother in 1971. Not only was she pregnant, but she was pregnant with a black man. Her family was not happy, needless to say. When my brother was born, Grandma Linda was right there from day one. And little did she know she was going to get a bonus grandbaby, and that was me. It didn't work out between my mom and Daddy Tony, so God sent my dad, Ray. My mom became pregnant with me a year after she gave birth to my brother Christian, and there I was. My dad raised both my brother and my brother as if he was his own. My father knew Grandma's presence was necessary for my brother, but for me as well. So we all became a family instantly, and I knew nothing else until one day, my dad's mom let me know that Grandma Linda was not my biological grandmother, and that Christian and I had different dads, and my heart was broken. I was so confused. How could a grandmother say that to her own granddaughter because the grandmother I knew didn't ever say a word because she loved me? And for the first time I saw color. My grandmother is black, and that I never saw until that day. I was her granddaughter, no matter who said what or the funny looks that came with me walking around the stores or visits all around Key West or Miami. All I felt was her little hands and the sound of her bracelets clanging. And all I knew was she loved me, and I loved her with all my little heart could. My grandmother is magical. She managed to make all the differences between us magically disappear, and that is what I will take with me wherever and forever I go. I love to cook because of her. I love jewelry because of her. I love good food and good alcohol and good gossip, talking on the phone and wearing makeup and always having my hair and nails done. Some say we look alike, but I think God made us for each other, and that I will never question or wonder why, because the obvious is stated above. My grandmother is magical, and so am I. So, that is the story of my grandmother, Linda, and that is what my book is going to consist of. Moments of my life that changed me and made me exactly who I am right now, today. So if anybody is questioning their reason on earth, or maybe they're questioning their purpose, or maybe they're questioning why they're here, what they're supposed to be doing, you're important to someone. My grandmother didn't know how important she was to me. You're important to someone. To someone, you're the reason they're here. You don't always have to know who that is. Just wake up every single day knowing it. But you know who you're the most important person to? Yourself. That's who's the most important person. You. You. And I promise you that when you start to look at life that way, you'll take the biggest risk to get the best rewards. So instead of wondering if you should or you shouldn't, or if you can or you will, you can and you will. And you will take that risk, whatever it may be. Small, big, doesn't really matter. If it just means trying on a new dress, or wearing a different color lipstick, or maybe changing the color of your hair, or maybe just thinking about driving a different type of car. Take the risk. Don't ever, ever, ever give up on love. Love is such a beautiful thing. It's amazing. And the moment you give up on it, you give up on God. Because God sent us here to be loved and to love. Can't do that. God's grace is part of love. So no matter what you do, no matter where you are in your life right now, no matter how low you might feel, no matter how happy you might feel, anything, never stop loving. And never stop opening to receive love. Got it? Ever. Because one day, when you least expect it, when all the fears have gone away, and all the expectations you have for this big fantasy of love, of who you're going to be with, and what he's going to look like, or what she's going to look like, or what she's going to smell like, or anything like that. Once you get rid of all of those expectations, you just stop for 2 seconds and just be. Just let it all unfold. The moment you do that, everything comes. Everything comes. My Aunt Julie fell in love with a man named Meeple. 30, 40 years ago, they're still together. She said, I never thought I'd be with a 5-foot, bald-headed, white little man. And that's who she's been with for 40 years. We're never really, in our mind, we might have a perception of what we think we're going to be with. But then God sends us people that we never in a million years would ever think. But that's what's so beautiful about God. That's what's so amazing about him. That he gives us what he knows our soul needs. It's all about what our soul requires. It's what we need. It's what we require for us to feel good about ourselves and love ourselves enough. It's part of who we are. See, we're already whole by ourselves. So when God sends us the most beautiful equivalent of who and what we are, the divine equivalent of what we are, it's an amazing thing. When you can look at someone who's just as equally yoked as you, can give you just as much as you give them, because their ability to do so is there because they vibrated to a certain place. And you're not having to pull anybody up. You're not having to change anybody. You're not having to convince anyone. So please love yourself. Buy yourself flowers today. Take a bath. Go buy yourself a purse. Go buy yourself a new pair of shoes. Clean out your drawer. Buy yourself a pretty pair of underwears. Maybe a matching bra set. Make yourself feel sexy. Bring all of it out. So someone can see it and attract the beauty from within. Not the external, but the beauty from within. It's all there. Someone's going to see your light one day, not you. They're going to see your light. And they're going to go, I've got to keep that. I've got to keep that light on. I love it. I don't want to lose it. But you have to believe you are that light. You have to be that light. You have to. And don't pretend to be it. Be it. All the time. Whether you're with someone, not with someone, if you're just you laying on the couch watching TV, be the light. Be that. Be it. I have faith in you. I know you all can do it. I know you can. I believe in you. Even though I've never met probably most of you, I believe in you. I know some of you are sitting there right now thinking, it's Saturday and I don't have a boyfriend and I have nowhere to go and nothing to do and no one to spend it with. You have yourself. Go get a new comforter set and put it on your bed. Clean out your drawers. Open up your windows. Open up the blinds. Take out the darkness. Light yourself a candle. Clean your kitchen counters. Clean out your drawers. Keep yourself going. I promise you, there is going to come a day when you're going to roll over in the morning and you're going to go, wow, everything I've ever wanted is right here, right now. And that's going to be you in the state of peace. I am dating someone and I'm so happy. I don't talk about it, I don't bring about it or whatever. But I'm also good with me. So if that failed tomorrow, it's going to be okay. You understand? It's going to be okay. You know why it's going to be okay? Because I'm already good with me. Okay? So take those risks. Take those rewards. Know that I love all of you. Know that today is like every other day. You're in it. You're alive. You're well. You're healthy. You have the ability to change the world. You have the ability to change your life right today, right now. You could do anything you want to do. Start that blog. Write that book. Start that journal. Create that YouTube channel. Even if you just create it and don't even put nothing on it, just create it. Just start small. The little bit goes a long way. After a while, it adds up. I know you don't believe me, but it adds up. I'm blessed for just having my coffee. You know me? Just love my coffee. Very happy to do that. If I can wake up and make my coffee, it's already a good day. You understand? It's already a good day. So just keep in mind the simple things, your simple morning routines. Make them yours. Make them yours. It's an intimate moment with yourself. Make them yours. Okay? All right, my peeps, I love you. I just wanted to get on here and let you all know that today's not a wasted day, that you're not in a state of waiting, that life is happening whether you like it or not. Life is unfolding as it should, and things are going to be okay. You know why? Because they already are okay. They already are okay. Trust me, they are. You just don't know it yet. But you'll know by the end of today, you'll understand what I'm saying. Life is already okay. And anyone from your past, they're just part of your past. They're part of your history. They're part of your growth. They're part of your learning. You say, why did I meet that person? I had to learn something. That was my teacher. I had to learn something. How many of us talk to our second grade teacher? Not many. How many of us talk to our fifth grade teacher? Not many. So people that come in our lives are just like teachers. We may never see them again, but we spent a whole year with them. Keep that in mind. Okay? Love you. Have a wonderful day, my peeps.